Alright, good evening ladies and gentlemen. Today we're going to show you a good workout, mainly with bands. So this could be used if you're injured, if you're trying to throw down a cardio workout that requires some muscle building in there, or just because you want to put in some new exercise regimen into your workout plan, okay? So basically, first exercise here, basically this whole thing is about a pull based workout, upper posterior pull. So that's going to be basically posterior chain stuff for the upper body. So that's mid back, low back, upper shoulders, rear shoulders, and even the triceps, because that's the posterior, right? That's backside of your body. So backside of your arm particularly. So we had the first exercise, pull through. That's for your lats and your mid back. Okay, high pulls, you'll see what those are for your shoulders. Underhand tricep extensions, obviously your triceps. Peak bicep curl, you'll see what I mean. And then iron cross flies, as well as overhead posterior press, which you probably haven't seen most of these, actually the posterior press before, and maybe the high pull before. But basically this is to make your whole backside kind of pop out, giving your body a new way to get some gain. So it's gonna give you a good pump. Also on the right side here we have the band types. We have orange, usually it's light to medium intensity, which is what I'll be using today just to show the exercises. Red is usually light on the heaviness. Black is always heavy for the most part, and blue equals medium. Of course, you take a break when needed between the sets, which is around 3 to 5, as well as 20 to 30 reps per set. So if it gets too hard to do 20, either lower the intensity of the band, or you basically you could take a rest, or lastly you could essentially just step closer to the band because there's less intensity there. So that's the exercise. Take a picture of that, or something along those lines for yourself before you start the workout, because you're doing those 6 in a row, 20 to 30 reps each, 3 to 5 rounds. Break when needed. I'd recommend, if you do take a break, take about a minute or 2 after the 6th exercise. Try to do all 6 of them straight, then take a break. If not, try to do these 20 to 30 reps, 3 to 5 rounds in a row. Should be done within anywhere from 20 to 30 to 40 even minutes, but this will give you an insane pump if you're going for gains and a little bit of conditioning for the muscles themselves. All right, here we go. So first exercise, Chris is on the camera for us today. So
hello guys.
He'll be going back and forth to the board just in case if I tell him to. So here we go. So first one is the pull through, okay? This one's gonna work a lot of muscles. You can do it 2 different ways. You can work a little bit of legs in it if you want, but for the most part, you're here, you're in a slight lean, so your back's pretty straight. If you can hang with that, keep the hamstrings kind of stretched there. All you're doing here for basically, since we're doing upper body, all you're doing is pulling it back behind you, squeezing your lats and your shoulder blades, and you come back out. It's kind of like they pull through on the ropes that people usually do. You hear your arms are straight, and you pull, squeeze your shoulder blades, arms behind you, try to get it behind you. My triceps might activate that, that's fine. Then come back, boom, easy. So you're going for 20 reps here. Again, if you're trying to work a movement here, some people like working movements. What you can do here is you can press through your feet and pull at the same time to get a full movement, and you might get a better contraction in your lats because your hips will be forward. So you're here, chest up, move the hips, squeeze the glutes, lats contracted, then come back down. Go into a squat, come back down. That's 2 different ways you can do the movement. Make sure you press through your feet when you do this though. Boom, squeezing out. That's if you want to work your legs a little bit, work movements, helps with your deadlift, stuff like that. So you do 20 to 30 of those. Again, you either have just regular version, 20 to 30 reps of this, try to squeeze at the end. That's why we have the band to squeeze at the end. Or you can do 20 to 30 reps of a movement, okay? That'll get your heart rate a lot higher, as you can tell. Second exercise, high pulls. You make sure there's always a little bit of tension there, okay? From here, as the name entails, it's a high pull, so your hands come up high, your elbows are behind you at the same time. So from there, you think about your wrist, my watch, coming back and behind me. Right there, good. Squeezing the glutes, feet planted, up and back. Almost like you're making a W. If Chris gets it, it's like a W, right? Or no?
Yeah, it's a W.
Are you right there?
There you go, W right there.
You should see the rear delt activate. Up and back. Chest open. Same thing, if you want to make it harder, you can go into a squat and then float out. Same thing, a lot harder on the breath, obviously. But the goal of this is to get that rear delt, a little bit of form and bicep coming up and back. Chest is always open. 20 to 30 reps. Heart rate will go up, especially if you do the leg version. Third exercise, the underhand tricep extension. Okay, same distance as we can kind of tell here. You have the band still taut there. Again, you're in the hip hinge position. Arms are tight, elbows are pretty much back. And this is really good for developing the medial head of the triceps, which is up here in the back. Chris will get a close up when we hit this exercise, and you'll see the difference. So you're here, you extend back, and you squeeze that medial head of the triceps. Put the energy in your ring and your pinky finger, and you'll be able to feel that contraction really good. Elbows are back, chest is up. Boom. Squeeze and keep those elbows there. Good squeeze, keep the butt back. Keep the shoulder blades back. Triceps should be feeling like balloons as soon as you hit that 20. I like my triceps, so I got a little bit of reps for myself. Again, if you want to add some movement into it, you can come up. Teaching your body how to move against the band a little bit. You might get a bit of contraction here too, whoever you are. But basically, coming back here is the goal. Should be burning. Your rear delts might feel a little bit of that too, because you're holding those elbows back, okay? It's all for the posterior chain of the body for the most part. This one's kind of off of the posterior chain. That's why we put posterior pull, because now, might as well hit the biceps. This one though, is not on the board, but you're holding this in a squat, okay? Actually, you don't have to, but we'll do both versions, right? The peak curl is because the shoulders flex. Bicep gets a peak contraction when the shoulders flexed up. So the higher the arm is, the better the peak contraction, the better you work the peak of the bicep, okay? So on this one, it's kind of low. If you could tell, Chris, show them. It's about hip height here, which is not ideal for that peak contraction. You still get a good contraction because you get the tension here at the top only, but if you want the best contraction, you got to get at the same level of that, if not higher. So here, for me, I recommend, and you might like it too, it's good for your whole body. You're gonna squat, hold that squat, keep the knees open, don't let the knees drift in. Some people, get a front shot real quick, Chris. Some people, when they come down, they do this. It's very terrible for your body, unless you're doing it for a specific reason, which I don't recommend for the most part. So again, start at the top, push the knees out. They should be a little bit out, feet are planted, butts back. Arms are basically straight in front of the shoulder. From there, curling up. Breathing out. Squeezing those biceps. It'll start to burn the legs too. Chest is up, it works the lower back because it's pulling you forward, okay? The more you walk back, the harder it is, obviously. Get a side shot, Chris. Real simple again. Again, if it gets too hard, you can just stand up and you could get a regular curl here. This feels good too. Just real simple, working that back, but if you need to, or if you like to, come down. Pull it to the chin, if not, to the forehead. Whatever feels better for you. 20 reps, 30 reps if you can. Low back feeling a little up there. We're on our fifth exercise now. This one's probably the hardest out of all of them because it's a straight arm iron cross fly. So again, this one is going to essentially work on the mid back, the scapula, rear delts, very lightly on the triceps as a secondary. But basically you're gonna be here, same thing, lightly taut, get pretty close. All you're doing real simply is like the opposite of a chest fly. You're coming back, okay? So you're here, out and back. Breathe out, keep the chest up, squeeze the shoulder blades back, opposite of the chest fly. Good. If I was wearing a cutoff shirt, you'd be able to tell a little more, but basically, all the shoulder blades, kind of like a high pull, but it's your straight arms, and you're going horizontal. Okay? More explosive version of this would be basically up and out. Try to control that. Yeah, it's more explosive. Get your heart rate up. But the version we have here for more muscle building is just out and back. Chest open, out and back. Good squeeze. Shoulder blades, low mid traps, feeling all that tension all right here. That's the goal. That's the second last exercise, 20 to 30 reps. Last one's overhead posterior press. Me and Chris had a battle on what we should call this. But
yeah, for sure.
basically, it's really hard to
Hard
see what
explain.
it's called. You just make it up as you go, right? So basically, you're in a shoulder press position. Again, the band's down here. So where is it fighting you? It's fighting you that way. So as you're pressing, you're not just gonna press up anymore. You're gonna press up and back. So not only is it fighting you gravity-wise, you could also use dumbbells with this if you want. Not only is it fighting you gravity-wise because it's pulling you down slightly, right? If you had dumbbells especially, but it's just pulling you forward, and it's also fighting you in that sagittal plane, the forward and back motion that most people don't work in a shoulder press, because how the hell would you work that motion fighting you that way in a shoulder press? You don't, okay? Unless you're like laying down, but it's a different story. So for the most part, since we have the bands and that's what we're working with, you're here in front, there's tension, and all you're gonna do, you could use the legs here too. You could do a press version, almost like the other one, but you're here. This is regular, simple version, simplified. Here, you're pressing up and back. Works the mid-lower traps again. Chest open, you're still working the shoulders because you're pressing at the top. Up and back. Working those shoulders, rear delts especially. Good new exercise for the delts. That's pretty good. Up and back. It burns quite a bit. If it gets too hard, you walk closer. Good. If it gets too hard even then, or you want more cardio, you move back a little more, use the legs for power. Control it down. Almost like a push press. Head burn them off. And then there you go. So that's the last exercise. You knock out all 6 of those, and I'll go through it real quick, 5 of each, and then you'll see basically that's it. So this is the rundown. Pull-throughs first. We'll do the both versions, so 5 and 5. I'll do 10 reps of each exercise. 5 of the regular upper body, 5 of the full body basically version. So pull through here, butts back, moving there. Squeeze those lats behind you. Going for 3, 2 more. That's 5, right? It's a regular version. Now 5 of the movement. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. That's 5, 5. High pulls are next, so this one's harder. Again, up and back. Keeping those elbows bent. Good. Rear delts. Not pressing up. Leading with the wrist. Movement if you want. Squat, high pull. Squat, high pull. Squat, high pull. Get those rear delts. Next one, underhand tricep extension. Lean, get deep. Keep the butt up, back straight as much as you can. Got a mirror, go for it. Got windows, go for it. Look at your form. Extending back. Chest open. Think about the ring finger and the pinky. Breathing out at the end. If you want movement, basically you come up and extend. 1. That's 5. That's 4 to 3 down. Peak bicep curls next. Again, you could do it standing if you want, just here. Or the way I recommend it, you drop down into a squat. Not all the way down, in a midway squat. Kind of like a chair. Knocking that up. Just knocking out as many as you can there. You could go overhand if you want to add a little difference for the forearms, but that's basically it. Next one, overhead posture. No, actually iron cross flat. Easily, get closer, it's a little harder. Straight arms back. Keep the shoulder blades under straight. Opposite chest fly. Okay. Movement is the same thing. Squat, fly. Squat, fly. Squat, fly. Squat. Burn those rear delts. Then we got the last one. Get close. The overhead posterior press. It feels weird. Don't grab it the way you want to. You should feel like this is also in front of you, almost like you're just doing a forearm grip. You're not trying to tuck the finger under, and you're also not trying to grab it like this. See how it's kind of weird? If it's underhand this way, how are you gonna press it? You can't twist it. So have it straight on, okay? It's my little break right there, when needed only. Okay, regular here, chest up, butt squeeze, feet are planted, up and back. up and back. Breathing out, up and back. Elbows tight, up and back, up and back. Feels like the left side's a little harder. Adjust it. Now last one, squat. Clean, basically a push press. Here. 1, 2, 3, 2 more, 4, and then 5. And that's basically it, guys. So you knock all those out. 20 to 30 reps per exercise. If it's a new band, like this orange band is, it might not actually be light. It might be medium or heavy. So you kind of alter it, whatever you got. Again, the 20 to 30 is what I recommend. You could do 10 to 15. You can do 5. I want to say 5 reps. You want to at least get 12 to 20 reps on there. But 20 to 30 if you can in that exercise. Again, you don't have to have them anchored onto this, but to get most of those exercises, it's most effective off of this. Because, well, you got that straight motion here. And the reason why we didn't do a row is because it's too light for it. But basically the exercise we there got some of that there. So this is really good at this anchor level. And that's what you want. So basically use whatever band you need. Usually red band is what you want to use for this. For most people, like 90%, even me, I can only probably do 20 reps of these with this orange band with the distance I was at. So adjust it accordingly. Take your breaks accordingly. 3 to 5 rounds of that, you'll get a really good pump, especially if you've been eating good and you're low body fat. This is always important. Nutrition first before everything if you're trying to lose weight. And then carbs if you're trying to gain gains.
Yes, sir.
So basically, that's the upper posterior pull workout. And thanks, Chris, for recording.
No problem.
Have a good band workout, guys.
Stay phenomenal.